You see that man right there? Do you remember him? You gotta block out everything and be in the moment. Not the past, not the future, right now.
I think is that you should be a monster.
You're never going to please everyone. Stop worrying about keeping everybody happy in the room. It doesn't exist. Remember that.
If I disappear, like, who cares? Nobody cares, man. Seriously. Yo, and that's okay. That's life. That's life. No, for real, okay?
Now, if you know what you're worth, now go out and get what you're worth. But you gotta be willing to take the hits and not pointing fingers saying you ain't where you wanna be because of him or her or anybody. Cowards do that and that ain't you. You're better than that.
Nobody, don't you understand? Nobody cares about all the trials and tribulations of your weak lives. Don't you understand that?
Do you want to be on your deathbed knowing that you could, but you didn't? So why do you care about what people are thinking when they're not trying to go where you're trying to go?
Nobody, absolutely nobody, gives a about you as much as you're going to have to give a about yourself.
You want to be best ever at what you do, you're going to be misunderstood by everybody because you're going to be so obsessed and so driven to get there. That's what it takes.
That's the truth.
It takes every second of your fucking life. Anybody says balance? Yeah, balance is important for a lot of people. It is. But if you want to go to that edge where people do not like you, don't understand you, question everything you do, you've arrived.
But if you come here, don't complain. You want to become best. You want to become champion. And now you want to say like you tired? Who cares? You tired or not? Nobody care about you. Even you, if you're gonna watch fight, you just watch fight. They walk out inside the cage, they fight, and they leave. You don't know what happened behind the scenes.
Yeah.
This is not your business. Nobody care about this.
Yeah.
He was tired, he have personal problem, family. Nobody cares.
Nobody cares. You know, at the end of the day, nobody cares. What we're going through, how your body feels, nobody cares. We gotta do our job.
The effect that I have on the universe is so freaking small. Nobody cares. I'm the only one putting the pressure on me. Nobody gives a damn about it. So that's why they help me to perform now. That's how some younger guy, they say, I'm nervous. I heard you don't sleep well the night before. I said, yeah, it's true, I don't sleep well. It's like, what is your trick? How do you find a way to sleep well? It's like, I don't really sleep well either nowadays. It's like, well, how do you feel better about it? It's like, I just know that I'm not gonna sleep well and it's not gonna affect the outcome of the competition. It's just a normal thing. You learn how to deal with it better. You're not gonna change it.
Yeah.
You just accept it.
Yeah.
The stress is your friend, man. That's gonna make you react. That's gonna be on the edge.
So, unchosen suffering is going to happen in life. Your parents are going to pass away, loved ones are going to die, your relationships are going to break down, your body is going to fail you, you're going to become ill or sick or destitute. Things are going to happen that you have no control over. And the only way that you can prepare yourself for unchosen suffering is with chosen suffering.
There was a thing that I heard one time many years ago. It said, stop complaining, stop making excuses, because 80% of people could care less, and 20% are glad you have them. Stop complaining about your problems, because 80% could care less, 20% of people are kind of happy you have them. Keep it to yourself. There is no benefit to it. There truly is no benefit to it. Keep it to your small little circle. We're living in such an era of be vulnerable with everything you got going on.
In this lifetime, you don't have to prove nothing to nobody except yourself. And after what you've gone through, if you haven't done that by now, it ain't gonna never happen.
You did this wrong, or they get yelled at. It's so easy to be great nowadays because everybody else most people are weak. This is a softened generation. So if you have any mental toughness, any ability, if you have any fraction of self-discipline, the ability to not want to do it but still do it.
No matter what anybody else says, you could hear the best speech, you could take the best program, you could go to the 12-hour seminar and jump around and say, hey, I'm a different person. It's always gonna come down to the two things that it comes down to for everybody. One, you have to become the kind of person that can push through the hard times. Most people can't do that. Most people cannot push through the challenging, the draining, the frustrating times that make everybody else quit. And every time you push through one of these barriers, you're leaving all of your competition behind and you're moving forward without that. And most people can't do that. So you have to build yourself into someone who has the discipline, the fortitude, the grit, the perseverance to push through the hard times.
Wild about the fear that people have when they're starting out is that they say things like, I have nothing going for me. I have no advantages. I have nothing to my name. I have no money. I have no network. I have no resources. But using Rory Sutherland's reframing, it also means that you have nothing to lose, which makes you incredibly dangerous. And I think people wildly underestimate how many shots on goal you can take when you have nothing to lose. Whereas when someone has something to lose, they have to be more and more selective about the shots they take. And so you have the perfect conditions for taking risk, because the worst case scenario is baseline, is where you're currently at.
So picture somebody who is 100% selfless. They do everything for who? Everybody else.
Right.
So there's an element of conformity. There's an element of trying to please everybody. There's an element of constantly worried about what other people think. Those types of people don't typically do net positive good for society.
Whenever I get to a low point where I think, why do I even bother? I just remind myself, this is where most people stop, and this is why they don't win. And this relates to another one, which is a reminder for the gladiators in the arena who feel beat up and scarred with no hope in sight. Building a business is hard. Hard feels shitty. This is what hard feels like. And this is why most people can't do it. But you can.
Don't quit. Get off your butt. Get out of those stands. Get in the arena. Get dirty. Get sweaty. Get bloody. Get knocked down. Get back up. Get knocked down again. Get back up.
The biggest risk to your future isn't your competition. It's the distractions you insist on keeping in your life, rather than doing the things you know you should be doing but aren't. People delay doing things they don't like for longer than it takes to do them.
The proper thing to do is to never listen to anybody who hasn't done what the f you want to do. Okay? You guys mess yourselves up because you go out and you ask everybody who's never been there, who's never created anything, who's never built anything, and you ask them what they think. What the f you think they're going to say?
If they don't have what you want, don't listen to what they say. There's no greater waste of time than justifying your actions to people who have a life you don't want.
I think that most people, the reason that they lack success in their life, especially from a financial aspect, is that they lack the courage to make the decisions that need to be made to put them in the position that they want to be in.
Get it? Because I can tell you right now, every single one of you out there have exactly what you deserve. You might think that life is unfair. You might think that life dealt you a bad hand, but I'm here to tell you life will give you exactly what you tolerate. And if you've been tolerating mediocrity, you've been tolerating average, you've been tolerating this victim mentality that you're carrying, then guess what? You have exactly what you deserve.
All of it comes down to when you change yourself, you will change the world because you'll change how you see it.
Nobody cares about you is something that was never made clear to me. And I mean that in the most positive, optimistic, inspiring, motivating way. Like, I think that, especially if you see yourself as a creative or you want to exist on YouTube or as a filmmaker, or as a musician or as an artist or a painter, or any of those things, like, you think that everybody's paying attention. And because of that, it kind of controls how you think. And even when I was young and fearless and nothing to lose, I was still so cognizant of, like, how are people going to react to this and what's the best way to do, like, I was so aware. And the reality is nobody gives a shit. Everybody is so focused on themselves in this world. Nobody has time for you. And the sooner you accept that as a creative person, the sooner you're free. Like, you're totally free. Like, do exactly what feels right to you.
So in other words, nobody cares about you but you. Nobody can make you successful but you. If you don't believe in you, why should I? If you're not going to invest in you, why should I? You are with you every single day. You know you better than anybody else, but you want someone to invest in you that hasn't spent one moment with you? If you're not willing to do that? Of course you wouldn't. You believe in you. Take the advice, the hard work, the discipline, and the dedication, and go be successful.
Most people have a plan A, a plan B, a plan C, a plan D, my plan was this must work or it must work. It was this or death.
Now, failure is not the opposite of success, it's a part of it. Right? Failure is not the opposite of success, it's a part of it. And the reason that I'm saying that is because when it says don't be pushed by your problems, problems are a part of the journey. Opposition are a part of the journey, right? Adversity is a part of the journey. Like it's all a part of development and growth as a person.
I just beat me.
Yeah.
This ain't about nobody else. I don't give a fuck about nobody else. I just beat me. If I can keep beating myself, pause, if I can keep doing that, then that means that I'm in a battle with the only person that makes sense. I'm in a battle with the only person that I really want to beat, and that's me. I don't care about anybody else. I have no worry or gripe about the next man or woman's journey or their level of success. That's not what I'm up against.
Hey, I'm very capable and I learned that, listen, Cristiano, let's go. Life continue. Past is past, it's never come again. The present, it's the best gift that we have in our life. The present. Because you don't know that what's gonna happen tomorrow. You don't know. I don't know, you don't know. So live the present.
I think one of the hardest things to hear after you don't get your way is keep working. But it's also one of the only solutions to be successful. You're not going to get your way most of the time in your life. Just keep working. Hard work pays off, no one tells you when. You'll never know the true feeling of accomplishment if you've never faced a setback. You'll never know the true meaning of confidence if you've never had to bounce back from anything. Just keep working. You're not getting what you want, keep working. You are getting what you want, keep working. One thing's for sure, overthinking's overrated. Have a great day.
Sometimes things are gonna be so tough. Stop fighting it, stop trying to understand it, just survive it. Take all that energy and just survive it. Like, bro, day by day, moment by moment, situation by situation, like my dogs say, be where your feet are. Just survive it, right? And then you're gonna get to a place, you're gonna be on top of the mountain one day, and you're gonna say, man, I see exactly why I had to face and go through that.
Yep. And start living like a savage who deserves success, abundance, happiness, security, prosperity, legacy, meaning, fulfillment, significance, purpose. Doesn't that sound sexy? Like you're either gonna play video games sitting on a couch having fucking Cheeto dust in your belly button. That's gonna be the highlight of your day, telling your sad victim story to others. Or you could literally take the pen back and start rewriting the story of how your life goes from this day forward.
You need to stop listening to others and start listening to yourself. But the problem is nobody knows how to listen to themselves. They're scrolling on TikTok, music on loud every day, when they're driving, radio turned on, when they're home scrolling on their phones, when they ask for opinions, they ask for opinions from other people, they ain't even asking opinions from themselves. They're going to asking a psychologist for wisdom and advice on how to live their lives, and they're paying this mother money, and all you are is a client, so might as well keep this person sick as long as possible, or deranged, or in the loop of coming and sitting on the chair. Why? Because they're paying for the fucking mortgage. When's the last time you sat down and defined your symphony of success? What does success look like to you? To me, it's not having a ton of properties and living in a big fat box and having a ton of supercars. No, to me, it's freedom. And I found that early on.
Or it's bad. When taking full accountability of your life with all of the deficiencies that you have may be the most painful thing that you do when you look at yourself in the mirror and say, this is my fault. But in saying, this is my fault, those are also the first two steps of progress, because it's my fault, not anyone else's, which means it's my responsibility and my action that can change that.
The best way to contend with problems, with issues, with adversity is action, is by taking action. The more you sit and the more you wait and the more time you spend with that adversity, with the upper hand inside your head, the worse it's gonna get.
And man, the biggest revenge is just winning so big that people can't stand it. You know what I'm saying? Like, y'all cry about the haters you have. You want a bunch of haters. You want all the people mad at you. You want everybody saying that guy. Because if they're saying that guy, it's because you're winning so big that it just irritates the fuck out of them.
Yeah.
So that's how I prefer to do it.
Yeah.
You know, yeah.
Just clean winning, man.
Just
I like
keep
it.
winning.
Yeah.
Yeah. It's just, It is what it is, man.
Yeah,
Hate all you want. I'm over here smiling and doing my shit. You know, the winning will continue.
Wearing a nice ass sweater while you do it.
He was like, the only thing that you can do is win so big that all of them constantly compare themselves to you, and then you'll forget they exist. And that's when he said, success is the only revenge. He's like, it's not the best revenge. He's like, it's the only one. There's no other revenge. Because everything else is petty. Everything else does show that you were thinking about these people all day long, which means they win by default. He's like, all you can do is think about your goal and winning. He's like, and when you win, that's when you become so big that they shrink into irrelevance. You cast a shadow that no one even can see them behind you.
Reminder that if you want to be exceptional, you're going to be different from everyone else. That's what makes you exceptional. You can't fit in and also be exceptional. Both have discomfort. When you fit in, you have internal conflict because you're not being 100% you. When you're exceptional, you have external conflict because everyone sees you as different. Pick one. When your friends start to say, you've changed, remember it's because they don't know how to say, you've grown.
Resistance. We don't want to suffer. We don't want to feel discomfort. So the whole time we're living our lives in a very comfortable area. There's no growth in that. So for me, I realized that the reason I became 297 pounds is because that was comfortable. What was very uncomfortable was running. What was very uncomfortable was being on a diet. What was very uncomfortable was trying to face things that I didn't want to face. And I also realized when I was really big, I had no growth. Why? Because I was living comfortable. So I realized for me to find growth, I had to face all these different things that made me very, very uncomfortable.
What you're going through, what went wrong, the excuses you're gonna make. Yeah. Who cares? Okay, guess what? You went through all that shit, don't do it anymore. I don't give a nobody cares what goes on in your life. As harsh as that sounds, that is the reality of the life that we live. Yeah. Whether it's your family members, your partner, your friends, not many people give a f about you. When you put your head on that pillow at night, it's you and your mind and your thoughts. Yeah. And that's all you got.
Nobody cares about you as much as they need to care to fix your life. Even your parents, even your friends, even all the people who think they care about you. They care about you, yeah, sure. There may be 2 or 3 people on the planet who genuinely care about you. But nobody is gonna come to your bed, drag you out of bed, drag you to a job, force you to work hard, go and get you a hot bitch and go and buy you a Ferrari. Nobody is going to do that for you. You are never gonna have any of the things you want if you do not get them yourself. Nobody cares about you enough to do it for you. This is absolutely true. Personally, I'm an atheist. And when I say I'm an atheist, people seem to be a bit confused by this. I don't know why that surprises people, but I'm absolutely and utterly an atheist. And the reason I'm an atheist is because I believe that there is no grand plan. There's no God in the sky looking out for me. I don't believe that there's anyone here to save me on this planet or in the sky or anywhere else. I am me. I was born. I have maybe, if I'm lucky, 70, because I'm quite big. When you're physically large, you die sooner. 70 years of consciousness. And these years I experienced, the only person who's going to make them fun and exciting and interesting, the only person who's going to make me happy and live a life that I want to live is me. Nobody's going to do it for me. There's no one else who wakes up each day and goes, you know what? I want to make Andrew Tate's life better. I want to get him more money. No one thinks that about me. No one thinks that about you either. Nobody thinks that about you. The only person who gives a shit about your life truly is you. And if you don't give a shit, then you're, but point 2, get angry. You're going to start giving a shit very soon. And after you get angry, you need to realize that nobody is going to give you the things you want. It doesn't matter if Donald Trump is president or not. I'm a huge Trump fan, but it doesn't make a difference. No politician is going to make you rich. No one else is going to come along and say, I'm going to concentrate my effort on fixing your life. Nobody. You have to understand you are out here alone, absolutely alone.